win in the victory castle using the sprint. Grandfather did. I decided something without my mother. And how did that happen? Oh, she. Oh! Sorry, Grandma. Trying to stay lean. You're wearing your shoes. Started walking into houses and you say dog water. Say less, my guy. This house be busting. No cap. Walk in the door and be pitch yell. That is not real. That is. When you're a single father and have to get your daughter ready for school. Oh no, bro. She can't go like that. This playing Valorant? I started playing Rank 2 and throwing people. Dang. Oh my god, how did you tell me? What a wild raccoon? Where am I seriously? Disrespecting me, bro. You know this is like original gangster? No, this no people do. Enter the compartments of the hotel. Is a strategy to the Wait, he's not that short, right? Huh? Why does he look? You guess the camera angle is getting dirty, bro. Is that right? Is it that bad? His mic, camera. Oh my god. Make sure that your Halloween coat is easily removable. Yeah. Bro, is he trying to drown his dog? You have to square up, bro. You square up. Oh my god. These kangaroos are so buff for what? If you ask why I don't answer it now. What are you talking about? He's Batman, lady. He's gotta do Batman things. Yeah, I come outside and this for $54. This little bit drank $54? You greedy fat little bit. Bro's deeper with his car. Bro's protecting his Fortnite kitten.
Get the fuck away from me.
What?
Get away from me. Get away from me. Get the fuck.
Oh my god. Oh my god, her face. Wow. They show you where the fridge is at? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I done. I done. Okay. We gotta get to know Skin, I guess. Can we jump scare somebody with the weekend? Because this is a scary picture. It's just the lazy. Oh man, hopefully you get jump scared by this. I've seen this clip so many times. He's like a busted can of biscuits. Well guys, feelings that
When you're at Chipotle
why
ordering,
are you looking like that?
you got to give me your meat. More meat. All of your meat. I want all of the meat. You've got to give me more meat.
Oh my god. Bro did not jump in there, right? Oh, you're damn, bro. I wonder what the top Twitch streamer's up to. Watching Dora? Apple. Yeah, I got it. Bro, so proud of himself. Oh my god. It's the guys from Fortnite. I mean, this actually happened. Yeah, why is the wheel on fire? Bro's Tommy, like, just, like, I would not be Tommy's situation, bro.
She's so mad. She's so mad. He had to sacrifice his trip to save his life. He's being chased by the seagulls for his fries. He just threw them. He's trying to capture a wholesome moment to send to my mom. Oh, big snowballs right here. Oh my god. Who made that? Bro, Santa's running out of money, bro. Santa's on a budget. Mr. Beast in your basement? Bro, get out of there, bro. Get out of there. You ain't had enough. Oh my god, what's the name? McDonald's employees, sir, we stopped serving breakfast 5 minutes ago. Let's give it to him, man. Oh, he got it. And the dentist refuses a dentist appointment after the hygienist just cleaned his teeth for an hour.
G4. Knight to F3.
Knight to F3? Bro, calling out chess moves? We wore the same scrubs today and patients can't tell us apart. We wore the same scrubs today? Oh, you're not identical.
Happy Friday. Hey, I'm gonna get a nice coffee at the fire.
She's been crying.
And then you walk out your car.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Yeah,
I wonder what she did to deserve that.
Come on.
He actually used to keep it. What is that? What is that? You see the piece inside it with the lashes? Yeah, that.
No. He started running.
How you doing?
Who's Charlie? Bro, don't push him out.
What if I got Riz when you done raising that baby?
We'll talk to your cousin, my little cousin.
In real life, in Ohio.
Everyone has a cousin like this. Does that count? That's a lot. I'm feeling generous, that counts. Potassius Fields! Does that mean he doesn't have it? You skin free, man. I know you run the green superhero skin. I'm gonna need one game out of you with this skin at least. You play with your dad. Whoa! We got one homie who plays too much. If World War III happens, just throw it back. Oh no. POV plays Spider-Man 2 out of PS5. Is this the new Spider-Man 2? I haven't played it yet. It's a little different.
Oh my god, perfect. Oh my god, oh my god!
That's actually funny. Nah, that's messed up. That's messed up.
What's everyone's favorite Thanksgiving pie? That's pumpkin pie. Look, it's here. You can use rollerblades on trampolines. Number one, don't.
Jesus.
Don't, yeah. Parents at home, you know what that means.
What?
How'd you get it in there? Me pretend to be asleep so I would get inside. The Uber driver. Yeah, bro stuck me directly on my dome. Oh no! Why would you run to your teammate? Are they okay? Oh my god.
I delivered undercooked salmon.
Why? Okay, we're not that far advanced. We're not that far advanced, but it's kicked in. Oh my god. PS4 used to try to play GTA 6 or
I'm gonna go get food real quick, chat.
We'll count that. We'll count that. We'll count that. Guess we gotta give someone something. Is there any sus in the item shop that I can get? Let me see. I feel like a lot of people might not have Mr. Japanese. Asian Jeff doesn't have it? Alright, Asian Jeff. This is your new tournament skin. I need you to get a win in the victory cash up using this skin. Grandfather this.
I can't see shit out of this.
Bro, I decided to cook something without my mother. Wait, how did that happen? Oh, shoot. Whoa! Sorry, Grandma. Trying to stay lean. She's so mad at you wearing your food.
14-year-olds from Converse here in Oklahoma. This house here in Oklahoma, look at what the years were under description. Tired of walking into houses and eating straight dog water? Say less, my guy. This house be bustin', no cap. Walk in the door and be prepared to rush.
Dude, that is not real. That is not real.
When you're a single father and have to get your daughter ready for school.
Oh no, bro. She can't go like that. Who's playing Valorant? I started playing rank too and throwing people's rank.
My mom, right? She's tripping. Put her on speaker.
No, you're
Cut him. That's
Push
that.
the clock open. Sorry, push open.
God, why would you take that to Twitter unless you play with?
Disrespecting me, dog. You want to say original gangster? No, you don't think forgive me. Now empty the compartments of their pantaloons. For what purpose? Is strategy for
Boys, you go shopping with your short king. Wait, he's not that short. Huh? Why does he look? You guys, the camera angle's looking dirty, bro.
Isn't that bad?
Is it that bad? His mic, camera. Oh my god. Make sure that your Halloween pay is easily removable. Dang. Oh, is he trying to drown his dog? You have to square up, bro. Just square up. Oh my god. Dude, kangaroos are so buff for me. If you ask why I don't answer it. He's Batman, lady. He's gotta do Batman things.
Yeah, I come outside and this for $54. This little bit drink $54? You breathe that little bit?
Bro's beefing with his car. Bro's protecting his Fortnite kitten.
Get the fuck away from her.
What?
Get the fuck away from her. Get the fuck away from me, dude. Get the fuck away from her.
Oh my god.
On a Thursday afternoon, hell, sun is still up.
Oh my god, her face. So, I show you where the fridge is at? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I done, damn. I done. Can we jump scare somebody with the weekend? This is a scary picture. Oh man, hopefully we get some jump scare buddies. I've seen this clip so many times. He's in a busted can of biscuits. What about his feelings are
When you're at Chipotle
why are you looking like that?
got to give me your meat. More meat. All of your meat. I want all of the meat. You got to give me more meat.
slip out of control. Oh my god. It's the guys from Fortnite.
Dude, I might just start doing these streams where I react to videos and stuff.
Those common, like, I would not be common situation, bro. She's so mad. She's so mad. You have to sacrifice these chips to save her life.
Well, there wasn't a lot of people.
I wanted to be the first guy.
I haven't watched this yet. It's Roman.
Read a movie and
Ten
also
years.
still, maybe gonna pay per view. I don't want to stop being a WWE superstar in order to get other bats. I'm always gonna be a WWE superstar. I'm always gonna be Roman Reigns. That was a good one.
What your coaches?
Well, I just like chocolate. Anything chocolate, peanut butter. They're just sweets. I'm not
This wasn't mine.
with Randy, it's really? Yeah, but you have to look at him like, there's no way this guy binges.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's always in really good
Yeah,
shape and he's always been.
Hello, my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the same way, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen him eat real normal food. It's always in a container. It's
Yeah.
always in
It's very annoying. He's super disciplined. Like, and just always is. There's never really a binge. She doesn't really have a craving.
And we were at CW years ago. I forget, it might have been Bo. I think Blaze.
For sure.
Taylor. This is back in the days.
Yeah.
All kinds of these just myths and rumors, and he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Triple H eats one slice of pizza every day, but that's it. Really strict. But he loves pizza so much that he has one slice a day. I was like, that makes sense because he's
Yeah.
always in great shape.
Right?
And we know, well, that's the type of stupid shit we tell each other. Like, we know the island, you know.
Sure, yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
it takes to to make the carrot seem like it's a little closer, but yeah, it's that was one of the weird,
I
that
can
was
eat
one
one
of
of
the
these
weird
things
days.
a day.
He's like, oh no, man, I can see his spine through his abs. I don't think he's eating pizza.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of sweets in general. Like, right? I couldn't eat.
I don't know.
And I'm married to one. And it's so ridiculous.
Well, my wife is that way too. She doesn't eat well. It's like,
Yeah,
I'm
oh, yeah,
hungry,
oh,
and then she
okay.
forgets to eat, and then it's like 2 hours later, you're like, did you
Well, she
eat?
has 5
She's
kids.
a bit weird, but
Yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah, she's no time.
She might think about eating. She might get 1 or 2 bites in there.
But then she's on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's, do this. I'll be right there.
Yeah.
And they don't ever. I don't know. It's a good gig. It really is because they don't ever come to me for anything. I'm sitting there, perfectly available, ready to
Ready to help
I
out.
can make all this stuff. I can do cereal.
Right?
I can make that stuff.
I said my husband all the time, as I'm like, I have 2 on me and Wednesday, and the next day, I'm coming back with you.
Yeah.
This is dad. Right? This is dad. And in the middle of the night, who do they need? Mama.
It's never me.
They need mama. But I have to say it's the best. I mean, it really is. And it goes so fast since I'm kind of on the other side now. You know, you still have young ones, right?
Yeah. My little guys are like 5 and a half.
Yeah.
Starting junior kindergarten.
So cute.
But
Kindergarten.
we just, like, the past couple days, it's not empty nest, but it's halfway, like, they're all
Mm.
so that was a weird,
It's quiet.
somebody have to get used to it, but it's nice.
You will. I was gonna say you will. Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, we got daytime weekends now, so
Yeah, accomplish what you want to get done.
all kinds of stuff to get done.
Yeah.
It's the busiest
I
time.
bet.
And just all fits. It's like it's always been one way or the other. Like work. Well, for a long time, we're just busy with work because our schedules are much different. But now it's like every half hour is busy.
Yeah.
So, but that's good. Busy place.
Busy is blessed. I agree.
Am I too? Or is this alright? Should I get
Well,
it?
do you want a tour? Because I kind of took them away from you. I wanted you to relax. Yeah, I wanted you to be, on the boat. You were very like.
Way back when we were on a boat. I was about a phone, you just take a beer over.
Mine's good. I like to sit up straight. I drive
It's better for me.
sitting straight.
I
Yeah.
need to.
I don't mean like up against the steering wheel, but no. Although, but I like to sit straight. But actually, I was driving my left hand because I drove stick when.
I'm the same way. I'm super right-hand dominant, but I always drive.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
In the semi-cross.
Uh-huh.
My daughter just started driving, so.
Oh my god.
So now, like, I take all the boys to school, and then an hour later, because she doesn't have first period,
Because she's older.
she's a senior in
Yeah,
high school,
she's
so.
a
Senior? Mine's gonna be a senior
This
this year.
year too, my middle baby. It's the worst. I'm so sorry. It's the
There's
worst.
some good stuff about it. It like gives me nostalgic things that, you know, we went through in high school and just feel that age, but.
No, it's terrible. There's nothing good about it.
But so she's driving to school as I'm headed back, and I'm just looking for those little white knuckle
Right,
hands
right.
that are like just chin and cheek perfectly, face up there, steering wheel driving. She don't have any swag yet.
No,
That's good.
it comes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I hate it when they call me when you're driving.
Well, she's still pretty new. She was like a late bloomer driving, so we haven't gone through that yet. It's still
Yeah.
very like. This
Point
is
A
the
to point
mission.
B.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Don't go anywhere else. No
Text
sign.
me when you get there.
Exactly.
Yep, yep,
That's-
yeah. I'm just getting out of that phase of my middle daughter. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna get out.
No, you do. You do. You get more. They get more comfortable, and you get more comfortable, and it's just time. You know.
It's getting insane.
It should.
I
It
started
should.
thinking, why did my mom just let me go? Right? Just let me go to college. Just all on my own. That's crazy.
It is
Crazy
crazy
talk.
talk.
It's terrible.
You started looking at schools yet?
Yeah. Possibly a legacy, possibly stay close. So I don't mind if she would stay in Florida. That would be really cool. But if she wanted to follow me in her mom's footsteps, please put you with me.
Yeah, I
We have
did.
good resources there. So yeah.
Should be.
She liked it too. We had a little visit there and she enjoyed it. So it was good.
Any family around you at all?
My in-laws are 2 hours away from,
Okay,
so they're kind of in the scripts, yeah, like towards South Carolina, but not far down. And my father-in-law, I mean, he drives everywhere. I think that's just what happens when they get older. They just prefer to drive and do road trips, but he'll drive from all the way up there down to Miami.
Really?
Nothing. So she'll have him available most likely if she's up there.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the longest drive you've ever done?
From Pensacola to Sunnyvale, which is pretty much San Jose, California. It took
That's
a
pretty
month,
far.
but
Yeah.
we did the whole country when I was little. So my grandparents on my mom's side
Well, New
come to
York.
Pensacola to visit us every summer. And they did for like a few summers in a row where they would take one of us.
I don't know if you know what
for
it
the
is.
summer and then fly us back. So
Yeah.
finally it was my turn. And yeah, we did the whole night. I didn't realize I had so much family in Texas. Like all three died, like Beaumont, Texas, San Antonio, Texas. My great grandmother on the mom's side
Really?
was from Texas. Yeah.
Wow.
Whenever they immigrated over, they just settled in Texas.
And where did they immigrate from?
Sicily, I believe. But I think the bloodlines go so far back that because between Italy and Greece, there's a lot of like Roman
Mhm.
Sicily, I believe. So don't roast me, I'm not a
I was
historian.
just learning a little bit about all that myself.
This could be like a Roman situation. Like, please.
You know, and
Source
our
us here.
research team hasn't dug into that yet, so we'll leave it alone. Just research team. Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome.
They're busy doing non-research type things, but they're gonna get to the research here shortly.
Yeah, we'll get the full history.
But yeah, so my mom's side, before my grandfather, I think my grandfather was a lot of like UK, like British,
Oh, okay.
Irish, and then my grandma was just this tiny little Italian.
Fiery.
Very much so,
Yes,
yeah.
they usually
Very much so.
This podcast is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out in the drive. Like what? At that time with them.
Because you were about how old?
I mean, a kid.
Yeah, still a kid. I was probably 11 or 12 maybe, so still pretty young, still innocent. There was all
Oh.
kinds of cool memories. Texas was really cool. When we went to Beaumont, we stopped there. I had a bunch of cousins that I had never met them. I literally only spent time with my dad's side, my Samoan side. So getting to Texas, this is the opposite of what's going on in Pensacola. Our little chapter at least. But they lived on a huge farm. Giant farm. I think they still have it, and it's still in the family. But that was a good time. So just being around them, getting to know like a different chapter of the family. There was this giant lake that they had. I don't know if it was in Beaumont or if it was just near the town, but everybody in that town went there. It was like one of those movie type, minus Jason. It was one of those movie
Because
type
it's
of
so
lakes.
hot
It
in
is,
Texas.
yeah. But they had,
Everybody finds a body of
swings
water.
and slides. This was a pretty cool
Sounds like
setup.
fun.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was like almost like a summer camp type of vibe. You know,
Oh,
like the
yeah.
90s movies.
Yeah.
I'm getting like nostalgic feels thinking about
You were
it.
watching the movie guys growing up,
Mm,
didn't you?
yeah. And then really just once I got to my grandma's house, like once we got to Sunnyvale, because if you're not familiar, this is like a perfect little Pleasantville type of town, especially back in the day. I don't know how it is now, but I thought my grandma was like rich because
Oh, yeah.
she had like it wasn't even like a real staircase. It was like considered a multi-level house, but
Okay.
it was like one of these houses where the upstairs was like only 4 steps up, and then the basement was only like 8 steps down. So it was like and I thought this was just like, this is the rich and famous over here. Grandma's got it good. She drove a Lexus back in the day, so we were not doing great in Pensacola, but I had seen other people with money, but we just weren't experiencing it. So when I got to California, I thought that this was like, this was it.
Yeah.
But she had a cool little cute house, fig trees and lemon trees, persimmon trees in the back. It was like tight little. Well, I just told my wife this. My grandma was huge on the figs. Like trees with the prunes.
Oh, that's
That's a whole
another
other
problem.
That's a now we can really get into the real talk.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, she was always pushing prunes. She was, yeah. So grandma stayed regular, you know. Grandma did not have any trouble with constipation, but
No, she was all systems go.
yeah, she was good. That's the key right there, guys. Get that digestion good.
First, yes. Prune. Maybe we can get sponsored by Prune.
Yeah.
We keep trying to get, some more
That prune
sponsors.
juice, but it actually came back to to tie it all together. I would have to drink like prune juice as a kid, because I wasn't even heavy at that point, but I was a big kid. So
Yeah.
when I was looking at my kids now, like, when I was 7, I was 75 pounds, and my kids are way smaller than that. So that's what I would beat you. Being a twins would, it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, right, Dad. But in order to make the football team, weight, we would have to watch my weight if I needed to make sure they give me prune juice.
No, so it really was.
I was one of those kids that had
Kind
to
of
run
like a
with
diuretic,
that.
but extra.
A little bit, yeah. But with a terrible taste.
Okay.
Then they would strap on like a trash bag and we would.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, like-
This is stuff that I don't think kids do nowadays.
Really, they do. To
Really?
put weight? Yeah.
But not at 7.
No.
Yeah. So
Oh my
that,
God.
yeah.
At 7
I was
years
7
old?
years
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't getting that.
And don't everyone's like, oh my god, that's
Child
crazy.
abuse.
Yeah, no, I begged my mom to let me do this. So do not go at my mom. I begged her to let me do this. She did not like it. She wasn't really with it, but she allowed me to do it, and it was a part of my process. So leave my mom alone. You let him do that? Like, yeah, they're going on. So don't do that to
They'll
my
go in
mom.
on anything.
Yeah.
They, if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
So then what would your dad do to encourage you weight-wise or other?
Um,
And was he around a lot?
at this particular point in time, he wasn't necessarily around. He was working his way back because there was a small portion of my early childhood where he just said he was on the road, but he was back at the island getting his stuff together, I guess. But then shortly thereafter, within the next year or so, he was there, and him and my mom weren't together, but he was always there. And that's
Yeah.
something that anybody who grew up in Pensacola would tell you. If my dad was coming to something, he was gonna be there like way before call time. Yeah, like literally, like man, I think I get some cereal, and then like, is that dad's band? Yeah, dad. Like, oh God, he's already here. But yeah, my mom would get so mad too. He's already here. You haven't. She's like, it's, I haven't even started cooking yet. He's already here. And I'm like, all right, I better get some ice water.
Are you early like him?
No, but I do have like arrival anxiety. Like and I do it to myself. This is a bad thing. Like, because I'm a little bit.
Just because we do it all the time.
Yeah, it's my own worst enemy. But I will be a little bit late, and then it drives me nuts. And like arrival anticipation, just like I can get there and get there, so I can just do whatever I'm gonna do there. But like, I don't know. It's just anytime I'm traveling, I just want to hurry up and get to where I'm going.
Yeah. Paul's always very punctual.
Yeah.
Always on time. I grew up in a place where you weren't maybe so much on Portland over. But
If I remember, we waited on him. He wasn't always there. Like, he had his own time too.
yeah, you did, and you know, but that's kind of how I grew up, and I had to learn the lesson that being late is actually being disrespectful other people's time.
That's right.
And other people's time is as your time, so I did. I hope I learned that lesson. Mostly, your mother-in-law would be laughing right now. What would you say is your fondest memory with Paul Henry? In and out of Ireland.
In the ring, it's tough because
So many moments.
yeah, and like someone asked me like, what's my greatest moment, and I can only just say the title ring because like the whole thing is magical.
It really was.
So yeah, you could literally pick anything, but there's a portion of kind of almost every night, and this is kind of a gauge of how we know just how good it was, or how good it could be, because during the entrance a lot of times you tell me like, because I don't slap my arm, you know,
Right.
but we all get them. Everybody gets the
course.
goosebumps, get the goose flesh. And
When
he
it's
would always,
working.
when it's
Yeah.
when it's that magic's happening for sure, and he would always point it out behind. You can never see him say it, but he's like, "You got him again." Or, he'd say, like, "I can see the goosebumps," and that feeling really go through the storm together. Get to the eye of the storm. I always cherish that. Outside the ring, just conversations, you know. The long flights, going to Saudi, breaking bread and just talking. Being around him and his kids too is really cool. I really enjoy just being a fly on the wall and hearing him talk to his children, how they talk to him, how their dialogue sounds and goes. Yeah, those are, I mean, look, we name them the wise men for a reason, and if you're around them long enough, it's hard not to pick up a lot of just diamonds and gems all over. He drops them left and right, and a lot of times there's intention behind it, but I think too, it's just who he is and he didn't even realize he's doing it, so.
I agree with you.
But I hate his guts,
I know. I remember a time, because Paul's obviously been around since my grandpa.
Alright, I'll see
in
you later.
various capacities. And in this particular moment, we were driving through town, and it was my dad and I and Paul, and this is not like a story on my dad, but he had a moment where he was very upset with me for a reason, and he was letting me know in front of Paul. And long story short, the next week, because Paul was working for me at that time as a writer, which was like a very funny dynamic anyway. And he would sit in my office and he would just drop nuggets of just knowledge. And we were talking about that moment, and I wasn't going to bring it up because it was embarrassing and he said, Steph, don't you understand that he's preparing you? And I said, what do you mean? And I don't know that this was an intentional thing by my dad or not, but what Paul said was so true. He said, if you're not intimidated by Vince McMahon, you're not going to be intimidated by anybody. And I thought a lot about that. And it's really true. I'm not saying if somebody wasn't trying to attack me, I wouldn't be scared or intimidated, but meeting anybody, I don't care who it is, everybody's just a person.
Yeah.
You know?
No, sharing the room with someone of that stature,
Yes.
of that fabric. I feel the same way. Going, you know, that's who I cut my teeth negotiating with, doing business with every day. And that's how I feel. I'm not intimidated by anybody.
Yeah.
And there were times where I had to get used to them and we had to learn each other's ways.
Sure,
you know.
sure.
But I'm the youngest of all his top guys, you know, so I didn't have that relationship like a lot of the other guys were further in the time. But for the compared to like anybody else, you know, Hogan, Steve, or Dwayne, those guys, I don't think I got as much of his time, but I was picking up as much knowledge as I could. Even if you may not even realize it, there's a lot of things like, you know, he said to me that I continue to use. I completely out of his playbook.
Anything that comes to mind?
Well, he was one of the first now it's the worst of the actually. He would always tell me, this is when I was so locked in the horse that I wasn't holding up my end on the other side. And he would just tell me, you'll be present. When you go home, you'll be present. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, you have to be present. And I took that to heart so much and I transformed that, you know, being such a bigger part of my life and the main thing, the priority, A1, to where sometimes it's relegated. Now, it's hard not to be present when I'm not home and not with my children. You know, that's what I really want to do is with my wife and my children. You know? But those are just one of those funny lessons of just seeing what he's talking about and then seeing it evolve in my own life as a young man. He'd always say, you want to be ahead of the curve, but not too far.
Slightly ahead of the curve.
Slightly ahead of the curve.
Never too far ahead, people don't understand what to do, and certainly never behind.
And then just so many different ways, and especially in business, that has just rang true. So yeah, those are two.
Like what's one of the biggest business lessons?
Well, that saying right there was one of the biggest business lessons with everything, whether it's creative, whether, you know, it could be anything within the business.
The being present piece?
No, the slightly ahead of the curve. Slightly ahead of the curve. I mean, that's, anybody comes up with a genius idea, you know, anything that, you know, that's kind of what
So
they're
what
doing.
are you slightly ahead of the curve on now that you want to talk about that you're working on?
I mean, it's hard to be able to truly say it, but I'm different than any superstar that's ever done it now. You know, it's always been, I was told this early on, like, in order to really, like, go to the next level, and I don't consider myself at the next level by any means, there's still, like, plenty of arms to grab, and plenty of levels to get to, but I wanted to be the first guy who could do both, as opposed to, I know John did, and he did it his way, but to really be able to do both and like when they lead a movie and then also still, you know, main event a pay-per-view, but have that type of responsibility because there's a lot riding on that. I do understand, you know, there's insurances and all different things behind it. But to be able to hold that type of responsibility and to be able to juggle both, I think that's you know, something that this generation and hopefully I'm one of the first to be able to do it. So I don't want to stop being a WWE superstar in order to wear other hats. I'm always going to be a WWE superstar. Always going to be Roman Reigns. And I don't want to ever have to shoot. Yeah, I don't feel like
You don't have to.
I feel like in the past people
I
have
think
to
in
make
the
that
past,
decision.
for sure, yeah.
But
But I
I
also think there is a different perspective.
Sure.
You know,
Well, we're in a different place. The
Yeah.
business is in,
Business is
we've
wild.
evolved and grown, so yeah. But that's kind of where I'm trying to be ahead of the curve. And then also, you know, this isn't a business thing, but it's a personal thing. It's the most personal thing, but really being able to balance in road life. That's a
key priority.
that's a puzzle to figure out for a young performer chasing it and your tunnel vision on it, but to be able to, be a professional in both of it, be a professional in your personal life too,
Well, and kudos to you for being able to do that and for recognizing that. Because it's something, when I was interviewing John Cena, and he talked about what he said was a lesson he had to learn the hard way. With his first wife, they'd be sitting at the coffee table, and if the office called and needed him, they'd be like, okay, bye. And that was it. And it unfortunately didn't work out, because he prioritized differently. But you clearly prioritize your family. Everybody knows you as a family man, and I think that's an incredible reputation to have that not many, men in your position especially have, and it speaks to your character and who you are, and I think that's very rare, and I think it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I followed, like, John was the man before me, you know what I mean? So having someone who never said no, always available, phone is in and out, yep, I'm on it,
And that sets the example then, though,
that
for
set
what
the
you
tone, that
want.
was the standard, and I was the guy that was supposed to follow this up, and I did my best for as long as I could, but at the end of the day, I had to just be true to me, I had to be connected to who I was, and then also, like, this place needed me to be a superstar, not one of the boys, so I had to, like, figure that out as well, and find that happy medium of, okay, this serves everybody, but it's right for me, and it's authentic to me and who I am, and at the end of the day, you're just constantly chasing it, and your tunnel vision on it, but to be able to, be a professional in both of it, be a professional in your personal life too,
Well, and kudos to you for being able to do that and for recognizing that, because it's something, when I was interviewing John Cena, that he talked about what he said was a lesson he had to learn the hard way. With his first wife, they'd be sitting at the coffee table, and if the office called and needed him, they'd be like, okay, bye. And that was it. And it unfortunately didn't work out, because he prioritized differently. But you clearly prioritize your family, and everybody knows you as a family man. And I think that's an incredible reputation to have that not many, men in your position especially have. And it speaks to your character and who you are. And I think that's very rare, and I think it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I followed, like, John was the man before me, you know what I mean? So having someone who never said no, always available, phones in and out, yep, I'm on it,
And that sets the example then, though,
that
for
set
what
the
you
tone, that
want.
was the standard, and I was the guy that was supposed to follow this up, and I did my best for as long as I could, but at the end of the day, I had to just be true to me, I had to be connected to who I was, and then also, like, this place needed me to be a superstar, not one of the boys, so I had to, like, figure that out as well, and find that happy medium where, okay, this serves everybody, but it's right for me, and it's authentic to me and who I am, and at the end of the day, if you want to have something original, if you want to have something organic and that's never been done before, else, I have to do it my way, respecting it, but it's got to be mine,
And how do you get to that place? Because I think it's very rare for somebody to be able to take that step back and say just that. I'm going to do it my way and deliver the best I possibly can everywhere. Right? But I have to be true to myself, and I'm going to be one of one, and I'm going to be an original. Like, how do you, that's a huge risk to take.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would think you have to get to the point where you want to bet on yourself. You have to be prepared. And that's what this place did to me. I stand at the edge of the cliff and I don't care if I got a parachute. I'm going to fly one way or the other. I'm not going to, if I jump, it's not going to be me. I know that. So it wasn't blind faith, you know what I mean? Because I knew I had the 10,000 hours. I knew that I was right there, just on the cusp of doing something special. And once I had that, then I had proof of concept. Then I had, like, no, it's real. But I think you have to prepare yourself, and you have to put the work in. At the end of the day, you have to put the reps in. You have to grind it out. You have to get close to a mastery of what you're trying to do before you can truly go all in.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about the 10,000 hours, that's Malcolm Gladwell, right? To be an expert in it, if you do it for 10,000 hours.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe. But preparation and putting in the work, I'd love to know because I've never actually seen somebody prepare the way that you do for a role. Like the way you get into character, how seriously you take it, the thought that you put into it, the look.
The way you make your body look.
I mean, just everything. I think is such a different level. And you spoke to it obviously, but what are the keys to, helping someone else be prepared? What is the process? How do you do, to do anything big?
I'll just speak on it, what we do. I mean, a lot of it for me is just kind of based off of what we were just speaking about, is having the experience. And this isn't going to be great advice for someone who's day one or week one.
Mm-hmm.
But having the experience of doing something for a long time, and then once you've done something over and over and over, it gets broken down into a fully structured day, right? About I gotta do this thing and that thing and this thing. And the first time you're thinking about this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing, but then once you've done it enough, I no longer think about this thing because that's just that's done. Yeah, and then that thing we've already kind of made that a process and a system, so we don't think about that. And then that other deal over there, we delegated it, so now that's not even on my plate. So you get when you've done things so many times, you know how to do that. Maybe like when we're talking, we do a promo. Because I'm so wordy. How do I make it more concise to the point so I'm not loving? How do I get, and then have another good point to serve that,
And even the looks you give, and the timing of it.
Yeah.
Like and the timing side can actually just add in and it's just a look. Like how much do you think about that in advance, or is that just a feel when you're out there?
That used to be stuff I would think about, but it kind of to compare it to something, when I first started wrestling in the Shield, and I would watch the film of when we were in the ring, I would watch every step, every single step. My wife wouldn't be able to watch it back with me because it was, I would watch it. I'd watch it like football tape, and but we didn't have the good, good film stuff, so I'd miss the rewind, and I'd sorry, one more time. But I would just keep watching that.
There's no story.
Why is that take that step? How did I do that with my arm? I'm so precise and meticulous on all these little things that I saw. And I would do the same thing with my facial expressions. And my dad used to be like, "Wow, don't do that." So I'd be like, your face can be too expressive.
Chuck. What happened?
No, there wasn't a lot of pizza eating. But see, also you just
Doesn't love of a silent pause and how you can actually just bring the crowd in and it's just a look. You know, like how much do you think about that in advance, or is that just a feel when you're out there?
That used to be stuff I would think about, but it kind of like, to compare it to something, when I first started wrestling, like in the Shield, and I would watch the film, like when we were in the ring, I would watch every step, every single step. Like my wife wouldn't be able to watch it back with me because it would be like, I would watch it, yeah, I watched like football tape, and like, but we didn't have like the good, the good film stuff, so like I'd miss the rewind, and then I'd like, oh, that one. Sorry, whatever, one more time. But I would just keep watching it.
There's no
There was all these things that I saw with like my facial expressions. And your dad used to be like, God, you do that so much. Like, your face can be too expressive sometimes. And they can be. And sometimes I have to reel it in and make it a little less. But that just became a system where we don't think about it. Now I've been in enough, environments, I've been in enough, segments to where I've probably done that type of look before, and if I haven't, I'm excited about giving a new look. You know what I mean? Like, this is something, yeah, exactly.
You saw
Rock,
it here.
rock music. Cut that. But that's when Brock's music goes off. That's the place right there. The zero no look. But yeah, those just become instincts, and they become experiences that become instincts, and I just try to rely on those. I try to trust them.
Isn't that the whole point of doing all the preparation, right? It's doing the reps over and over and over again so it becomes second nature. So when you're in the moment, you don't have to think. You just relax.
You can say fuck it. And
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
That's, at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like, do it, rep it out. Don't let your brain get too far in front of you, and then at the end of the day, it's time to jump. That's when, what happens, and, it's in God's hands now, and we always hope for the best. Say your prayer, and then get in and do it.
And how important is saying your prayer? How important is prayer?
It's everything. You talk about a lot of main things, but nothing's possible without God. Whether you're Christian, Muslim, whoever your God is, if you believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, I think at the end of the day, it's important that we have like a true North Star, a belief in something bigger. Because I think that's just, I think there's just human, we're just wired that way. We need something that's bigger than us, something, that we're working towards, I believe. And then it also brings in community. So yeah, I think it's everywhere. I think any successful family or person understands that it's important to believe in a higher power. And I specifically believe in God. I believe, Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He died for our sins. I was born and raised Catholic. I'm not as practicing as I'd like to be,
Us Catholics never are.
And we got the good setup too. We're not, man. I go to my wife is Russian Orthodox, and we're up in like 4 forever. Yeah, it's like 3 hours in. It's like, man, are they serving too? We can eat or what? Like at mass, at Catholic mass, 45 minutes. If, father's a little long-winded and he's trying to get his promo in,
You get me. When it comes to busy schedules, sometimes all we've got is a couple minutes. Factor helps me eat smarter with tasty, chef-prep meals that are dietitian approved and delivered right to my door. And now, with more than 65 weekly meals made for how I live and what I like to eat, I've got even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes me. Choose from a wide selection of weekly meal options, including new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good-for-you fats. From more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference, no matter your routine. You absolutely need to get this product today for a healthier lifestyle. It's quick, simple, and delicious that ultimately can change your life. Eat smart at factormeals.com/Steph50off and use code STEPH50OFF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code STEPH50OFF at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. There was something that you mentioned before when you brought up Georgia Tech. So obviously you're a big name in WWE, but I don't know two different people that you played with and played for. So first we'll bring up now coaching the Rams, Dick Smith.
When I reflect back on Joe Honoré back in the days at Georgia Tech, probably the biggest thing that stands out to me is just how tough he was. He had the ability to understand the game, execute the calls up front, and bring the toughness that's still so important in this game. Joe had just a unique ability about himself. Grew the hair out, looked cool, big, strong, athletic, smart. He had all the intangibles. I remember going down to Auburn. They about killed a guy in that game. One of the hardest hits until this day, even being in the league that I've ever seen. He's an awesome family guy. I get to speak with him every so often. I'm grateful for that friendship and grateful that it's lasted throughout these years. He's somebody as a dad that I have and husband, tremendous respect for. But boy, what a joy. Joe has excelled in his career, but there's so many special things about him. And, I can say anything other than nice things about him. Just grateful for my time with him. He made me a better coach. He made Georgia Tech special in that run. And, he's a legend. And wish him nothing but the best. And like I said at the start, I'm just grateful that I got to be a part of his life. He made a huge impact on my life. And he was a dog, man. There's no two ways to say it. That man was a dog, not just in the ring of wrestling, but on the gridiron. He was the real deal.
Yeah, that was my defensive line coach, Coach Dick Smith. He came to Georgia Tech my sophomore year. And my freshman coach wasn't a bad guy. We just weren't gelling. I was a freshman. I probably deserved. He was all over my ass all the time. And then when Gift came in,
Probably because he saw something in you.
100%.
Yeah.
And I ended up being even closer to. This was Coach Spencer actually. Down the. So it was nice to be able to reconnect with him. But man, having Coach Gift come in was just godsend because he just knew how to communicate with me, and that was just one of his. And you would have never known it, but he was a great defensive lineman for I believe Georgia State at the time back in his day. Just someone who understood him. To hear those things from him, they were coached into me from him. That was something as a defensive lineman down in the trenches. It's a little bit different than it is today. It's still a it's much
Use the
safer.
word aggressive.
No, don't.
We don't say
That's old
violent.
WWE. Yeah. Do that no more. It's violent as hell.
My character wasn't kidnapped. I was abducted.
I know, right? Yeah.
There's a big difference.
At the local medical facility.
Yes. Yes. Not a hospital.
But yeah, Dick was he was the man I needed in my life at that time that just was able to connect with you. His communication with you was flawless. Everything that he was trying to get into my head
Like what?
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, at that age, you know what I mean? At
Right.
20, 18, 19, 20 years old,
Mm.
a young man like that, especially like a young alpha bull, you know,
Yeah,
like
and
that. I was a
strong
pretty,
willed.
yeah, pretty dumb young man, you know, like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's not gonna hurt me, I'll run through that. But, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but every young man needs to hear. It seemed like Dick always had a cool way of doing it, to where it wasn't like, oh, he's lecturing me.
Right.
And he wasn't ever like that. I mean,
Is he a
just,
storyteller?
oh yeah, absolutely. For sure. I think that goes back to any great communicator, any good coach, any good public speaker. They're always able to like do analogies or like pull their own, you know, personal story and connect those dots for you. But yeah, I mean, Dick was, Coach Dick Smith was, and still to this day, I still speak with him. I need to hit him up, man. I'm actually going to do it today.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, he's still coaching. He's still a great coach.
Well, and he's at the Rams.
He's with the Rams. He's been with the Rams for a while. I think he was with they're LA too. He was with the Chargers. Yeah, he filled in. I think as an interim coach a couple years ago. I want to say. But yeah, just a great guy. Really
Yeah,
great guy.
he clearly loves you.
Man, and he was one of the many coaches that, and that kind of ties back to those years where I didn't have my dad around. All these other men, whether they were in my community or at my ballpark, one of my, you know, growing up, one of my greatest coaches of all time is my baseball coach, Kevin Freeman. He coached me on dive throws for like 8 years in a row. That was our team, the dive throws. Yeah, that we were sponsored by a dive shop, his dive shop. And this man would just, I mean, he would give me a ride home any day we needed it. The twins too, they know Coach Freeman. But we had so many of those men in our lives that helped out and were great mentors, great coaches. I was fathered by like a random set of coaches throughout my entire life, and like your dad, I took little pieces from all of those men. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a freak. I steal all the good stuff.
Right?
All the good stuff. I try
Right.
to.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta steal the best.
That's just being human. You're passing it on, but I just didn't wait for you to actually do it. I just got it before you knew you were going to teach me it. So,
That's perfect.
You give you a hard time.
thank God, shield. So, where it's like, no, you just said it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never had that like this. Trunks, huh? All right. Cool. It was always kind of a cool look, and then we did the post shield, and then finally we came out of the West years later. But I never had where it was like too embarrassing. But FCW, I did that.
Okay, yeah.
I was in the Skinkies.
When you felt more confident in the pants?
I don't
Or
know about.
that's not a confidence thing.
Yeah, at that point, I don't know if confidence was even in yet. We hadn't like let that one out. We were just trying to fake it and be like, I'm confident.
Well, you used to talk a lot of shit to me in the ring.
Only because I knew if I didn't, you'd slap me 15 times in a row. Run the track. Busted my eardrum too.
Oh, no, I believe it.
Shattered that sucker. The doctors,
Well, don't fuck with me.
That's right. That's right. Hey, if you're gonna hit somebody, hit
I'm
them.
just saying, well, and you guys all taught me that. It was, I think it was Foley the first time.
No, your first few were good. They were good
Right?
workers.
And then
And then,
I
but
just got carried away.
I don't know who's
Because you
that
weren't
good.
selling for me, and I was like,
Young bull, yeah. Now just down for a day. Oh God.
finally.
I'll be in the theater. Leave me alone. Where's Daddy selling in the theater?
I feel like we fought. I feel that.
Oh yeah.
Got me listening to you.
You left it for the big one.
We did. It was big pop.
That's awesome.
Yeah. My hair was stuck in my jacket.
You had all kinds of stuff going
I
on.
did.
Yeah, you were working hard that day.
Yeah.
But you had because you did the full
And I
intro
did
that
that,
night
yeah.
too.
That was crazy, the skulking. That was so fun. Oh my god. To be able to write that promo too and then just make everybody sheep and bow down and like, oh.
The Yeah, it's good. Like as a bad guy, if you just imagine your loyalty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think we come from the same. We have the same mindset of like.
Alright, chat. I'm getting off here. I'm gonna go to sleep. If you watch this all the way to the end and you're listening now, let me know if you want more live streams like these, where I'm just reacting to videos, watching videos. And then I can eventually, I can prove it in the future, to where I can get like a face cam and like an Elgato with it. You know what I mean? So y'all can see my reaction and the video at the same time. That's really what I need right now, guys. That's really what I need. But I love y'all. I appreciate everybody's support. It supports me. I appreciate every single one of you. You're the reason I'm still here. I'm still going today. And I love y'all.